I mean, the ephedra plant in Afghanistan historically has grown in the mountains for years. It grows wild.
It appears to grow best at an altitude of above 2,500 meters. It appears as a perennial grass or even very large bushes.
Traditionally, people might harvest it. They were sending it to places like India as a medicinal plant. Other people just collected it for firewood. So it had a traditional use. And then subsequently, in around 2016, 2017, that people realized that this had an ephedrine content. There was an alkaloid in it, which they could extract and start to make methamphetamine. Previously, they had used over-the-counter medicines that they purchased for large volumes, brought in from Pakistan and Iran, and were essentially making crystal meth using those. But it was incredibly expensive. By using this wild crop that grows up in the mountains, they could halve their production cost. What you had was a very basic industry of bringing down this wild crop from the mountains, drying it, milling it, and processing it into ephedrine. Very easy process to learn. And then subsequently selling that ephedrine to more skilled chemists who would convert that ephedrine into methamphetamine.
The advantage of using ephedra compared to other precursors is none really, except for in Afghanistan, because it grows abundantly. The cost of labor in Afghanistan is very cheap as well, and so it can be harvested on a mass scale at very low cost. From 2016 onwards, due to the use of ephedra, yes, there was a massive increase in production capacity inside Afghanistan, and that is reflected in terms of a large increase in methamphetamine seizures in neighboring countries, but also from countries far away, like in Australia, where the methamphetamine was tested, forensically analyzed, and shown to have originated from Afghanistan. We can't say for certain that methamphetamine production in the country and trafficking from Afghanistan has continued to increase. It's too early to say that.
I would basically suggest that the industry persists. It is much harder to be involved in that industry than it was prior to the Taliban takeover and the imposition of the ban. This is an industry that is disrupted, not eliminated.
Developments in Afghanistan with relation to ephedrine being extracted from the ephedra plant are important for us because it might have impacts on health and security in Europe. Afghanistan is already the main source of the heroin that's being consumed in Europe. And from the analysis that we have conducted and the reports that we've been publishing on this area so far, we see that methamphetamine is being smuggled along the same smuggling networks and routes that are being used to move heroin to Europe. Now, we haven't seen any strong indications of Afghan methamphetamine ending up on European markets, but that doesn't mean that it might not change in the future.